They're out for Fame, gets Adam in at least for one good kill. AWP scoping in, Process with the M4 out. They're going to make their way out. Good shot from Kisei. Close range, Crimbo and Process hold the line, and they do drop the patient. Smokes down, sees his face. Crimbo gets his man, gets his fifth, gets Big Academy up by a margin.
Okay. Look, 5 rounds, it's certainly, I don't think, enough. Maybe 6 you can sort of say, okay, we can establish the comeback if we get off to a good start, but you really don't want to be going down 5 to 10. The money's actually not that great for S-G.pro. It means that there's going to be a Galil out for Fame and not a massive amount of utility either. In saying that though, there is a Fammer up on the city side, so you can say that both teams don't quite have the perfect buy.
Oh, blind spray in from Process, gets no damage. Minimal amounts done to the C side camp. Meanwhile, Process is going to get returned to about 62 points of health. That's unfortunate, considering he was getting so close to the T side players down in Connector, but S-G.pro slowly making their way into mid. Panics has no idea. This could be a knife frag. Well, no, Senator just turns onto the quick headshot on the spray through for Master. For Hades, dealt with also just as quickly. Senator, no mercy shown. No mercy shown by Senator. Entering, gets 3, closes the rounds. There's no way this retake's coming in. Like, Anoin and Process better like sacrifice something ungodly to the heavens, because Senator is the devil incarnate. 4 kills. And now looking for an ace. It's D-Ray, the man most likely to get it, but either way, S-G.pro. Ooh, good frag from Anoin, but this is a 10 to 5 regardless of who gets this exit frag. Senator, ace time. There it comes through. 5 frags for 10 rounds for S-G.pro.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable from Senator. And he's one of the youngest kids on this lineup, 17 years old again. Him and Crimbo have been putting up some unbelievable performances in this best of 3. This map in particular from Senator, he's really come alive. You even saw that last round, a confidence to just absolutely obliterate your opposition. Just have a look at some of these kills again. The third one for me was like ridiculous. The fact that he just keeps running.
Senator, like, just monstered his way into the bomb site. Like, that was the end of the run right there. It was ridiculous. And now to the pistol round for Big Academy, and this is the confident pistol output that we like to see from this C side. Straight out of Monster into the B bomb site. But are you fire? Are you headshots? Crimbo, last man, and he's going for a 4th. He can't quite make it happen. P250 without Kevlar needs to land some serious heads of his own, and the backstab's coming in. S-G.pro deal with the rush, so good.
The nade placage was fantastic to start it off, putting down some players to low HP, but they don't even need to worry about that. The headshots coming through. Are you fired towards this barrel's position? Ooh, these shots, Jay. These shots. And normally, one of the best pistol players around that barrel's position is probably Tizian from the normal big side. But it seems like RU Fire is contesting that at the moment.
Find out whether they can replicate that consistently later. But now, another fast play up from Big Academy, SMGs and Senator, and they're going to rush it again. They held off against this last one. They're going to do so again with very different positions. Kills coming in for SMGs, a 4 versus 2, and Big Academy just getting ripped apart. They can't take the same aggressive face as they did before. Now this is getting scary. Now it's time for Big to worry.
That was actually a missed smoke. That smoke was supposed to land in front of connectors, so any of the rotators out from the city side to try and retake in from B is going to be blind from the smoke and has to wait. And even with that missing, you know, it doesn't make a big difference to the round, but especially on rush tactics, you can't be missing utility like that because they'll punish you for it. I'm really worried. I just don't see the comeback being possible here, Jay. This is going to be S-G.pro going up to 13 rounds to just 5 from Big Academy. And for the S-G.pro side, they were 0-2 in the Swiss stage, Jay. They've won 2 best of 3s in a row to get to this position. The XM doesn't find anything, though.
No bonus money and an auto shotgun now going for the T side. I wonder if Anoin can put it to good effect. The aggression coming in from Process. He's going to lead that charge out to the long position. SMG of RU Fire, not getting the man down. Going to see where they're coming from. at least know that they've got that long position. Fame gets a kill to return. So 4 on 4. Mid control established. Panic's going to get Sinator next out. And he's all on D-Ray here. Out to the platform. Ready for them to round this corner. Hades going to check his spray. Goes awkward. He doesn't get all the frags. And actually the shotgun works well for Anuin next. So 3 on 2 situation. That nade does not do as much damage as it looks like it's going to do here. And RU-Fire going to back up Fame on the bomb site. They're going to counter-rotate back to A.
Oh, I like the play. Very smart play. Rotating the players in. Fame, though, didn't see Crimbo. The timing on this could be everything. And they can now bring this bomb back to B. Of course they will. RU-Fire at a 1 on 3.
Yeah, left out with not much that he can do at this stage. Plant down. And Big Academy do chime back in with a good eco. Good deagle shots. 3K for Crimbo. Once again, the hero for Big. And a brilliant stick to hold themselves alive.
Whenever he's got a deagle in his hands, it's just always like the magic happens. There's always something. And even that nade, it was supposed to go out towards a graffiti position, ended up going back towards the T side, which could have been very awkward. Didn't do a great amount of damage, which is always nice. And S-Gaming.pro think, okay, we're going to get $1,900 in the next round, so we don't have to buy here, but of course we will, because we're S-Gaming.pro. It feels like you can almost never say to these guys save or eco, because they just always force. It's like Bulgarian teams, just always forcing. To be fair though, Jay, look at the buy for the T side. You've got 2 SMGs of MP9s, an AWP, an M4, and an AK. So at the same point, you can kind of say, well, they would have been able to get a complete full buy in the next round, but they're working off a buy of the T side, which is kind of like an equal playing field. It's not great for them either.
This force line needs to work well for S-Gaming.pro. And they have got the buffer of 6 rounds between them and Big, so I mean, there's always that much. But if they can win this, then they could possibly turn the map victory, and they don't want to let this drag out, because if Big's T-side gets spooled up, and if it gets momentum, then S-Gaming.pro are 6 ways from screwed. Like, they just can't afford to let it happen.
Yeah. Very slow, very methodical coming out for the T side, but there's actually a bit of pressure now coming out from long. RU-Fire wants to get a bit of information out towards bathrooms, because no one's actually holding this angle at the moment. They could walk into this A bomb site.
He's into mid control. SMG of RU-Fire looking to tempt face. He's not going to go too aggressive though. He's expecting the T's to come around to him, and they won't. 43 seconds to the hit. Flashes go over, and now RU-Fire acts decent with the orb. Gonna hold off. He lands a collat tag, gets 1 pick on posters, and Brian gets Hades as well. SMG in the back, drops it all. And Kisei, you him. You're not stopping them. What a round from S-Gaming.pro.
Oh my goodness, Kisei. Well, he got a little bit of criticism from us on Train in the first map of the series, underperforming. But my goodness, in the second map and the third as he come alive, that round, that last kill, what a shutdown coming out from the Russians. And Big Academy, oh, even look at their buy. It's rough. It's really rough. Yeah, you got your AWP onto Panics and you got a couple of AKs to work with, but Anuin's on a Tech 9 and a deagle up for Crimbo.
Boost up for Sinator to get this first pick. The timing! Oh, S-Gaming.pro. Not getting away with that one. I mean, if he waited for literally 2 extra seconds, they would have found the opening kill, and that could possibly have sealed the deal right there.
A bit unfortunate, but unfortunately, there's things that happen in Counter-Strike sometimes. The boost coming up, rather than boosting the AK up, they're actually going to boost the deagle up for Crimbo. They would have heard that drop off, so they know there's 2 players in short control. Oh, they want a counter boost.
For Oxys, the man takes him down, and S-Gaming.pro play that well. Eventually, the boost gets a kill. It's a 5-on-4 situation, and I believe they also lost one of their rifles as well, so that's a big pickup for the CT camp. The orb still set here for Sinator. Alongside D-Ray with a crossfire, passive control here on the B site defense. And now flashes and smokes come over. They're going to start to execute here to the B bomb site. Orb shot missing for Senator, forced back by damage. AK going to round over to the ramp position. The Orb's ready for it as well. Counter Incendiary is going to force the bomb partner out to a different position. The scope out for Senator does not quite land there, but the plant out to the sandbags next. At 20 seconds to the clock, it'll be a 5-on-4 retake. So I think it's Senator, Hades and Panic get 2 kills, and just like that, the whole round falls apart. Big Academy, where did that come from?
Well, okay, maybe a little bit of a late resurgence to come out from the Germans. The youngsters, what a post plant to come out after they lose the opening kill from the counter boost on the city side. The trades were just instant, absolutely instant. Trying to just stay in this game, trying to stay alive. Because in case you're just joining the stream, this is the last best of 3 in the Swiss stage. One of these teams are going to be going into the playoffs, Jay, and one of them will be eliminated.
Seems like it here. S-Gaming.pro still 3 away from that victory. Big Academy. Obviously with their buyback against a force buy, they are at the advantage in terms of the weaponry. They just need a good round. If they can do that, they will stay alive for probably at least a 13-9, 13-10 scoreline. If S-Gaming.pro win it though, then they just tick one step closer to that all-important 16. M4 of E-Ray catches one, does not get a second. The Mask Orca with the spray. And Anowin gets a 2K for it. Smoke out, going to continue his campaign out of here. I think he knows there's a player at Toxic. Misses that Molotov though, but falls back.
Oh, look at Fame though. Fame's starting to get aggressive, and you know what? If they start to realize that they don't see anything up from long, they can rotate this bomb up through connector. Hades is going to bring it over. Process is going to say A's open, and Fame's going to be able to cut off a couple of players in con, surely. 4-on-3 situation. Kisei looking out with the M4. When will he face what he's going to think? He'll see the man. Can't take him down though. Backs up. Fame though comes at the right moment. And that mid control works well for S-Gaming.pro. But they have conceded the A bomb site. Process is going to aggress. They weren't set up for a B take. They were going towards A all the while. And S-Gaming.pro, awkward retake. They might consider saving their weapons. This is going to be really tough. A fake coming out from Hades just to see if he can pull anyone to fake up. The Process, yeah, I think this is done now. You probably have to look to try and go for the save. In saying that, though, considering it's a force buy, they might want to still try and go for this. No, they're out of there.
Nah.
They're out of there. They're not interested. They pick up an AWP, so at least they're able to upgrade. Man, that could have been really spicy. It just comes down to timing. Like, they deal with the short players really nicely, but unfortunately, with Fame running down con, it actually pulls his sort of attention away from that A bomb side. And Big Academy, they just walk into A.
They expected it to be a B play, and if it was a B play, the SMG could have made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, could have.
The fact that it wasn't is really what cost them there, you know, again, not defending the A bomb site. And I mean, even then, Fame was not in a really good position to really defend A because he was pushed up mid. You know, they looked for the mid control, as you mentioned, the repositioning. 13 for S-Gaming.pro. And Anowin really opened up that round. A fantastic 2K from him. Mistakes made on the FAMAS, though. He could have found a trade, but his spray was just way too high.
Yeah, that really kind of opened up the round from Anowin. The fact that he's able to get 2 kills there. Probably should have only got 1 and got traded, but he wins out that fight. And again, holding them in the game. Another tactical pause coming out from S-Gaming.pro. They're going to force the issue again. Like, they could have completely saved, or they could have completely ecoed with the brought in 2 rifles, but they're now going into this with a force buy. The one thing that worries me the most about these force buys is that when they don't work out, you're just wrecking your economy over and over again.
And S-Gaming.pro are running out of rounds to afford that sort of commitment. So they really need to get a good rifle out about. Here we go. Stuck in. SMG of D-Ray gets 1. Oh, you fire gets 2. They've dropped the bomb. They've got the man advantage. And the force buy works wonders. Every CT player here to shut it all down. And shut it down they will. That is disastrous for Big.
It really is. It absolutely is. 4 players at this B bomb site, but just the SMGs. The SMGs do it all. The crossfire being set out for Monster. 14 rounds now up for S-Gaming.pro. Now they made it into the playoffs, Jay, last 9-5-1. They're 2 rounds away from doing it again.
Unreal. Unreal what S-Gaming.pro pull out with their backs against the wall. And if they win the next one, it's going to be a completely broken economical state here. 14-8. 2 from victory and qualification for the playoffs. And a minute and 28 to set it up here. It is just defaults out from the T side. Fast out. RU5 gets that pick. D-Ray gets a secondary kill to a 5-on-3. And once again, the execution, the confident T-side hits we've seen from Big in the past, just been dealt with so well by S-Gaming.pro. 2 left standing in Hades and Panics. They do get a couple of picks back, but the AWP Akuse responds, and it's all left to Panics in a 1-on-3 situation. This must be a 15th for S-Gaming.pro.
You'd have to think so, especially with a player in the back line. Senator, of course, he's the one to shut it down. And with no bomb plan, there is no money, Jay. There is literally no money. Like, the highest they've got is $2,600 on Panic. There's just going to be pistols. It's just going to be upgraded pistols, maybe a bit of utility to come out. What a rough buy for what could be the last round of the game.
I imagine it would be, like, just this is so broken from the T-side forces. Tech-9s, Deagles, Forceport helmets, Kevlar and helmets. It's broken beyond belief for Big. Like, this hit over to the monster position. This split from short potentially has got to be everything for the Big Academy side.
And they're just trying to fake out towards A, using a fair bit of utility. But even with that, there are still 2 AKs at that B bomb side. And you've got to think, they're the big damage dealer, these 2 AKs.
Diego in mid position for Process. Ooh, gets Kisei. If he gets another kill, be a way back in. Dealt with by RU Fire though, so they do respond. But now here come the T-side players out the gate into the B-bomb site. Damage done to Hades and the D-Race and it's all going to burn a little bit alive. Blind sprays on the smokes. They have tagged up the CTs quite a bit, but not as much as the CTs have tagged them. In comes Fame, takes one from Heaven. Seen on the bomb site as the bomb partner position. Taps up from the AKs back at T-ramp. 4-on-3. Nades come up. Hades drops. Crimbo damage. Looking for a Deagle shot. His Deagle's been fantastic in this series, but not today. The Tech-9 is the only thing standing, and Big Academy are done. S-Gaming.pro move forward out of Swiss as the final team into the playoffs. And there it is. What a matchup from S-Gaming.pro. What an adjustment as well. Just when we thought Big were going to get going on T-side, just when we thought their T-side was going to look strong, it just turns around from the Russians. That has to be a brilliant final map there from S-Gaming.pro.
Yeah, look, it really is. S-Gaming.pro, they did so much work. They really did. Like, look, map number 1 and map number 2 was very difficult for T-sides for both teams. It was really looking awkward, but we go into that 3rd map and they've got the right mindset. They get off to a really great first half. They're able to close it out in the CT. But honestly, you got to think for Big Academy, I don't want to take anything away from S-Gaming.pro, but it's disappointing to see them go down like this, considering how much presence we've seen from them on Overpass. We've said it in the pregame. It's their best map in the map pool, and they got 16-8 on it.
And you think about the run the Big Academy have had so far, you know, I don't think a whole lot of people expected them to be in this position. The fact
Absolutely
that they had
not.
2 chances to qualify, you know, they beat the likes of Excellency. They just barely fell down to the Isaac Bulls in yesterday's matches. So the fact that they were here in the first place is just such a shocker. And you can see that they will not be joining the teams advancing to the playoff stage. You can see the 8 that made it out of the gate. Simon and Gambit youngsters came through from the high matches in round 3. Isaac O'Balls, LDLC, and Aves came through in the high matches of round 4. And just today, you see them there. Alternate attacks. Tiki Takin and S-Gaming.pro will be your 8 teams out into the round of 12 of the playoffs, Dwayne. And you can see those playoffs and how they've been seeded as appropriately here. Simon taking on Tiki Takin, Aves versus Isocode Pause, Gambit Youngsters versus Alternate, and LDLC versus S-G.pro. Dwight, which of those matches stands out to you?
Oh, certainly the Simon versus Tick Attack, and mate, that would just be raw aim potential for both sides. That one right there would certainly be my favorite. But yeah, look, I mean, we've seen a couple of surprises, to say the least, in this Swiss stage. We've seen some really